Alright, looks like we are live. Welcome to Real Life Prepper, where we are on a journey of moving our entire family and our legacy from an urban living condition to a more rural and country standard. Okay, we're trying to get out of the city. But by doing that, we are trying to, hey Tara, we are trying to go against the grain of decades, generations of our ancestry living this life. So welcome to Real Life Prepper, where it is our duty to motivate, educate, and inspire you to do better. So if you are here and it's the first time you've seen us, please subscribe, like, comment, share, and if you don't like our content, dislike, because everything helps the channel. So I'm gonna get on topic real quick because we don't have a lot of drive time today. The title of this is Americans Stop Being So Spoiled. That's really what this one's about. And I just noticed here in the last probably 2, 3, 6, 12 months how we as Americans, and I'm more catering this to people who live in the United States of America. We're spoiled. We think that the entire world revolves around us. And I don't think that most of us know that most of the planet do not live in the United States. I don't think most of us realize that. And by talking to a lot of people that live here, and then speaking to some folks who live outside of the country, this is night and day living right here. The poorest of the poorest of the poorest here are richer than the richest of people in some countries. The people that we look at like, oh my God, they're homeless. They're rich compared to folks living outside, even folks who are doing well in other countries. Excuse me. And I think that sometimes we need to be reminded of how blessed we truly are. We especially in this process of us looking and trying to find another house, I have realized we are tremendously blessed. Myself and my family. And I know a lot of you guys are in the same situation where you're blessed. Blessed beyond measure. I mean, a lot of folks would trade places with you, and we complain. And this is stemming from a job I did yesterday. And I'm like, and I'm just listening to these people complain. They're getting all these upgrades in their house that they're not paying for, okay? And I'm just listening to complaint after complaint after complaint. The point where it was like, why did you buy black curtains? Because they're gonna match everything in here. That's why. Because that's our standard. Because that's what we normally do. Because that's what we buy. Well, it would have been nice if you had done such and such and such. Dang. Wow. You got an upgraded appliance. You get an upgraded laundry area. I repaired this over here. I painted that over there. Complain. And these are people who are already living in subsidized housing. Did you hear what I said? These are people who are already living in subsidized housing. You would think that if you're living in subsidized housing, you wouldn't say a damn word. Hey, Melanie, you wouldn't say nothing. If I lived in subsidized housing, if I lived Section 8 or if I lived some other kind of way, I would be grateful that I was paying $200, $300, $400 a month, whatever it was, to live in this really nice house or a really nice apartment or wherever I was living. I would be grateful. But I don't hear that. As a matter of fact, the people I service, and don't get me wrong, not all of them, But for the most part, most of them, all I hear is complain. I'm like, shit, wow. Matter of fact, you don't even have the ability to pay for anything. You know, this whatever that you're getting monthly does not even come close to what I know this house rents for, and it's complain. And I'm trying to understand where the mentality or where this air comes from, because even our, we have two classes in this country, in my opinion. You got the ultra super rich, and then you got the rest of us. Now, the way we as the rest of us look at each other, we look at each other as, okay, they're upper middle class, they're like moderate middle class, these folks are middle class, these people are below middle class, and then these people are low class. But just because you live a lifestyle where you don't make a lot of money does not mean you have to act like low class. All right, have some class. So anyway, that's been bothering me, and that's been on my mind for quite some time now. And I believe that because of our society, because we have a now microwave society, and because I'm putting myself in this group too. I'm not pointing fingers here, because anytime you point a finger, look at that, you got three of them pointing back at you. You got three fingers pointing back at you when you point a finger at somebody. So I'm talking about us, and hopefully this video will help us to realize, hey, we're not the center of everything. Hey, there are some folks out there that are doing much worse than we are. Hey, how about let's appreciate some of the things that we could call little things that, are meaningless to us, that would be the world to any and everybody else. So I just thought I'd come in and talk about that, because that's really been bothering me. It's been bothering me because I keep hearing, I keep telling you guys, I'm in a season of attraction where I'm attracting certain things in my life, and some things I'm not liking. So I'm changing my psyche. I'm changing my mentality, because some of these things I'm attracting, I do not like. I talked to somebody recently about 2 weeks ago, and they were complaining about, financing. They were complaining about, some certain things, and how, how it wasn't working out for them. And I was like, man, you are tremendously blessed. I mean, I can see their blessings. And a lot of times, I think that we're put in people's lives sometime to really just make them aware of where they are. Because you can always find things to complain about. Trust me, I can complain about a lot of stuff this morning. And as a matter of fact, I was walking out the house, and Jim was like, why would you say that? And I said it, and it was a knee-jerk response. What I said, I didn't mean it. And I'll tell you guys exactly what I did. Because every morning I spend about 30 minutes to an hour just, perusing houses. I'm like, and I have a mental checklist that I go through. And I can't remember, somebody asked me the other day to do a video about home buying. And I think I'll do that. And I mentioned it to Jennifer. Y'all hit the like button, please, for me. I mentioned it to, she's like, that's a great idea for a video. I'm like, I know. Especially for a prepper home. Even in the city, that's a great idea. So be on the lookout for that. That's going to be a video that I actually put some time into. I'm going to edit it and all that kind of stuff. So because I know that's going to be a pretty good one. But I walked out, and it seemed like this morning was the worst morning for me stuff. Because every time I would find stuff, I use like 3 or 4 different sites that I go to and look up homes on. And this morning it was like, ooh, I like that. And I go check it somewhere else, contingent. And contingent means almost contract. It means somebody put a bid on it. And then I find something. And see, I'm going through hundreds of houses. And what's getting me right now is people are buying houses like crazy. I mean, you would not think. I'm like, we're in the middle of a pandemic. I guess y'all not liking what I'm saying because nobody has hit the like button except one person. I know that was Tara. So could y'all hit the like button for me, please? Um, so I'm going through hundreds of houses, and every time I find one that that meets our criteria, I go check it somewhere else. Contention. I'm like, "Argh." And then I go through 20, 30, 40 more, and I find something else. I'm like, I like that. Okay, click. I'm going through all the pictures, and then I go cross reference it somewhere else under contract. So what I started doing, when I find one somewhere where I liked it, before I even go through the pictures, I just look at one picture, and then I go over here and see if it was available. Then I go through the pictures. So we got a couple that I found this morning. One Jennifer found last week, I think, and she sent it to me, and it's very nice. It will work for what we're trying to do. It's just got all this freaking crazy 1970 wallpaper everywhere, and I'm like, God, that's gonna be so much work. And I'm talking about work, y'all. Well, I don't know if you've ever taken down wallpaper. Wallpaper sucks. And the way you got to tear it, take it down, you pretty much tear up your walls doing it. So when you get finished taking the wallpaper down, now you got to fix all your walls, which means now you got to mud all of your walls. Then you got to sand all your walls. Then sometimes you got to go back and mud them again. It's just it's a tremendous amount of work. And I'm like, do I want to do that? Now the alternative to that is if the wallpaper's in really good shape, you can paint over it. That's only if the wallpaper's in really good shape. You can literally paint over it, but most of the time you can't. Most of the time you need to remove it, take it down. And the fastest way and the best way I have found taking wallpaper down is using hot water. I'm talking about hot, like boiling almost hot water. Spray it and then it scrapes easier. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be easy. It scrapes easier than trying to just remove it either by hand or scraping or even sanding. I mean, I guess you could sand it. I've just never tried sanding. But it's ridiculous trying to remove wallpaper. So that's one house, and then I found another house way more than what I wanted to pay for. But it has everything we're looking for, everything, including a really nice backyard. It's already privacy fenced in, and it's not that far from water. A water source. And matter of fact, I think this one had a pool, or maybe it didn't. I don't know. I look at so many houses, it's just crazy. We did go and look at one this Saturday. It's sitting actually on the water, sitting on a lake. And the real estate agent that was showing it, she was really saying, she's like, we have closing cost assistance. I was like, okay, that's good to know. And I guess she could tell we really weren't interested in the house. But then she came and hit us when we was outside talking. She's like, you don't have to pay any flood insurance here. I was like, really? I'm like, cause that's a seller right there. And the house is the only thing that makes the house even desirable is that they have an attached garage that they converted to like a room. It's more like a laundry room, utility room, but other than that, we're really not even interested in it. Even though it's on the water, sitting on a quarter acre, blah blah blah. I'm like, if we're gonna buy this house, we should have bought the house that was sitting on the river. And the one that was on the river is much cheaper than this one. And looking back at it, I wish I had put a bid on it. But I don't think we were ready. I don't think we were ready to pull the trigger at that time. Anyway, I digress. The moral story this morning is count your blessings. And I firmly believe this. I believe that you cannot, or the universe at large is not going to allow for you to receive bigger and better if you don't show any gratitude for what we consider to be small, minute, and little. That's just one of my beliefs. Now I could be wrong, but out of all the studying I've done with multimillionaires, out of everything I have learned as far as getting wealthy and getting rich, mostly everybody who is what we consider wealthy always say, I'm always showing gratitude for this. I'm always showing gratitude for that. I'm putting energy into this. I'm showing gratitude. And so that's all it is. It's just energy. Because I don't know if you guys realize this or not, but everything is energy. Everything. It's been proven that you take your hand and put up on a microscope that's powerful enough, you will see energy. Everything is energy. Everything is living. So, if you know that, and if you are a part of this vast universe, even as small as we are, if you look at our planet compared to the universe, you can't even see it. So look at you, okay? You're one speck, just a speck in the sea of all these planets. But you can attract certain things. You can put energy in, and you can change your life. And I believe like this. I know I'm talking about a lot of beliefs this morning. I believe this also. I believe that where you put energy, that's where you're gonna get get most, or what what you're looking for. And sometimes it's not what we're looking for. Sometimes it's the things that we don't want that we're attracting to ourselves because we're putting a lot of negative energy into it. And I just believe that the more you complain about something, the more of that you're gonna continue to get. So hopefully that helps somebody this morning. I know you guys have not chatted much. Y'all didn't ask any questions. Nobody said anything. Let me see if I got any chats. I know something came up a while ago and they said I agree. Live in a 3-bedroom house, paying everything, no Section 8, nothing. Yeah, and it's and then you look at folks who are living in a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom. They got Section 8 and they're paying like $200, $300, $400 a month. And it's like, wow. And don't get me wrong, not everybody that's on Section 8 is a bum. Not everybody on Section 8 is, is a complainer. But the folks I'm running across who in subsidized housing, they are some of the biggest complainers I've ever come across in my life. And I'm like, wow. They're like they own the house, like it's their house. And in me, I'm working, for them, and they're talking shit to me the whole time. I'm like, wow. And it's crazy, mind-boggling to me. But anyway, I want you guys to have a wonderful, blessed, awesome day. Enjoy your day, and I may come back in a little bit later, check on you guys. Y'all know it's football season, so I've been watching football like crazy. I enjoy American football. I try not to talk about it on the channel because I know a lot of folks are not into sports. Congratulations to Kansas City Chiefs. The only reason I mention that because Patrick Mahomes is from around where I grew up and came from. The Tyler, Texas area. I think he's actually from White House, which is literally like 20 miles down the road. So congratulations to he and the Chiefs. Dude is just amazing. And the one thing, and I mentioned this because the one thing that people talk about as far as his qualities, he's a great athlete. He's tremendous on the football field. He's very smart. But the one thing that everybody says that nobody really talks about is his leadership. His leadership and how the guys that are around him would do anything for him. And that's a sign of a good leader right there. So anyway, congratulations, Patrick Mahomes. They're having an amazing season, and he's a homeboy. I don't know him personally. I don't know his father either. I know his father was a Major League Baseball player, but I don't know neither one of them personally. But I know if he's from my neck of the woods. So just wanted to mention that. And congratulations, of course, to the Lakers. They're in the finals again. LeBron James in the finals again. They'll probably win the series. I think they'll do it in 5, maybe 6. I don't see it going 7 games. But that's something we can talk about another time. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a wonderful, blessed, awesome day. And we'll catch y'all on the next one, okay? Y'all be good.